live from the House of LeMay Makeup and Dressing Room.
Here comes Amber, stop what you're doing. Here comes Amber, she's just doing what she can. Here comes Amber, cue the spotlight. Here comes Amber with 2 drinks in her hand. The matriarch of fashion, from sequins to her glasses, you can't look away. Ask her, does she do it? There's really nothing to it. She's got that feminine gaze. If you have a party, or if you're feeling naughty, call up the House of LeMay. Here comes your favorite gal. Here comes your queen. Here comes the talk of the town. It's Amber Live tonight. The music starts to playing. It's time for cabareting on Amber Live tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn off all cell phones and get ready for your host, Amber LeMay.
Hello, 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 and welcome to Amber Live. Here we are, the last Sunday in March. That means summer's on its way. Let's hope. But before we get started, I want you to do something for me, okay? I want you to like what you're watching, press that button, and then share. Let's share the love tonight of Amber Live. Share it with your friends. Tell them what you're doing. And then if you're over there on amberlive.tv, subscribe to the station, would you? That way you'll get live notices every time we go live. And we're doing that quite a bit these days, so you're going to want to know when it's happening. So make sure you subscribe. So we've got a fun show lined up tonight. So let's bring Russell in and he'll talk about it, okay? All right. Hey, Russell.
Hey, Amber.
How's things in New York City tonight?
Things are good. It's a little gray and rainy today, but overall it was a nice day for me.
Oh, great. Yeah, it was rainy and drizzly here in Burlington, but we need the rain. Yeah, so, I guess we got to have it. So we'll settle for that. All right, so Russell, let's see. We got some things to talk about. What do you want to talk about first?
Well, first we'll talk about the best way to watch Amber Live, which we always recommend that you watch on YouTube. If you're watching on our friend Stream Ally, you're fine there. But if you're watching on Facebook or somewhere else, we do recommend YouTube because it's got Amber in full HD. So you want to see her in all her glory. And that's the best place to watch it. If you're watching on our website, which is amberlive.tv, that is the YouTube feed. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe because we do need to drive our numbers up. So that'll help us a lot. So thanks a lot.
Yes. And what's next? What's next on the list, Russell?
Next up is our is Amber Chat, which is our Wednesday night event. That is sort of a free-form discussion that anyone can join in. We encourage you to come online, talk to us, send in any questions you would like to talk with Amber about, or if you want to talk live, you can send us an email and we'll send you the link to actually appear on the show and talk with Amber.
Yeah, that's a great thing. Who knows what we talk about? We talk about what's the latest shows we're watching, what we had for dinner, what's your favorite pizza toppings, or maybe some local events as well. And you know what? If you're sponsoring an event or want people to know about a special event that's coming up, Amber Live Chat, that'd be a great way to do it. So come on Wednesday night, let's talk. Let's talk. All right. So it's usually around 8 o'clock, between 8 and 9, sometimes a little after 8. But if you're subscribed, you'll know for sure. And speaking of which, while you're online, I'm involved in 2 online auctions at the same time. Yeah. Now, one is for the Helping and Nurturing Diverse Seniors HANDS group, which is a local organization here in Burlington. And they're having an online auction. And you can bid on having a birthday greeting from Amber LeMay. Yes. What you do is you send me your information about who the person is, anything you want me to talk to them about or express in the video birthday greeting, and then you get it back. Doesn't that sound like fun? Yes, and so you get online and you bid that. So Russell, why don't you put that address in the chat? That way they can save that. And then I'm also involved in another auction. Yeah, 2 in 1 week, and this is for our good friend Chris Friday. Chris has been a technician, backstage guy at Higher Ground for years and years. He goes on tours with bands, but he's really been a good friend to ours. And his son Iggy is going through some medical issues that he needs some help with. So they're having a huge auction. Go on there and look at some of those prizes. I mean, there's getting thousands of dollars. They're fish posters and tickets and all kinds of great prizes. But 2 of my favorite ones is another video greeting from Amber LeMay, and it's not just birthday. I mean, if you want to tell someone you love them, or that you want to break up with them, or you want to tell your boss to take the job and shove it, hey, bid on that and I'll do it for you. Sure, I will. And the other item is Lucy Bell and I will come to your party, event, festival, and we'll do whatever you want us to do. Yeah, we'll sell raffle tickets. We really like doing that. We'll sing a song, but we'll come and brighten up your party, fundraiser, event, whatever it is. So go there and bid on us too. And that one ends tomorrow, so you want to get on there tonight. So
I do think you do want to clarify that you will come to their local event near Burlington.
Yeah, it is within Vermont. Yes, and we need a month's notice. Yes. All right, but yeah, or if you want me to give a birthday greeting, contact us at that address and we can arrange it. All right, so do that as well. All right. So what else is coming up, Russell?
Well, we got a great show next week, a special show. That is our Sap Tappin' Mud Flappin' review, which is Beaver Pond's, what do I want to call it, Ode to Springtime and All the Mud, especially if you do start to get more rain. So that involves a lot of the Beaver Pond regulars that you saw in our past shows, like the Christmas special and the Fall Leaf Peepin' special. So it'll be a lot of fun, a lot of great songs. Some very funny skits. I think Amber's going to enjoy it, and you will too.
You will too. Yeah. So let's stay tuned for that for next week. That's going to be great. All right. So let's see. I'm looking at something else here. Okay. Oh, the bustiers. Russell, you got to talk about them.
Don't forget the bustiers. These are the people that keep this show going. And we added some new ones and got some repeats today. A new super bustier, Craig Hilliard, joined the pack. And we have Rial and Janet and John and Larry still up there. And then Doug and Fred and Serena all re-upped their support and sent us another donation. And Travis Finn joined the list this week as well. So we want to reach out and thank all these people. You too can be a bustier using Venmo at RJD Pro and send us a tip or your support, whatever you'd like to call it. And we really do appreciate that. And if you send us $25 or more, you get a lovely sticker that we'll send you. For $100 or more, you'll get a sticker and a magnet. And $200 or more, you get a sticker, magnet, and mug. And that's what pays for all the software and the advertising and everything we do here to keep the show going. Press releases. It's a lot of work. There are about 6 people who work on this show.
Travis Finn, that guy who lives out there in Washington State? Oh, good. Well, thank you, Travis. Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. That's great. All right. So what's the caption picture this week, Russell?
Yes, our favorite moment of the week is the caption this photo. Send us your funniest captions for this photo, and later on in the show, Jack will talk about them, put them into the comments, label it a caption, and we'll get some giggles at Ted Cruz's expense, hopefully.
Yeah, so make sure you put caption and then put that in the comments. Keep Jack busy, won't you? All right, and now let's get to the guests. Who's our guest this week?
We have 2 amazing guests tonight, both of whom are artists in their own right. We have Ed Windels, who is a composer and orchestrator, and who created helped create an incredible pandemic project that Amber is going to find out all about tonight. We'll try to educate you a little bit, Amber.
Get some culture.
And then we have one of Amber's favorite painters from Vermont, Katharine Montstream, who is going to talk with us both about her art and about a project she's been doing, let's just say, all winter.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. She's crazy.
It's going to. We'll see if she can get Amber to join her someday.
Yeah. Plus, we have Pass the Tea, our RuPaul Drag Race recap. We've got Bitchin' in the Kitchen with Lucy Bell. Yes, and let's see, and Rocco's going to be back too, and then we close out the show with Boog and Shug as well. So that looking forward to that. Okay, all right, Russell. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks. Have a great
Russell. Yes, thank you. All right. Well, it's been a week already, so that means it's time for some headlines. Well, police detective divorces his wife after she's been seen in a photo with another man at the Capitol riots on January 6th. Look, certain things you don't do once you get married, and one of those things is having an extramarital insurrection. On the other hand, good for her. She betrayed her husband and her country. So, 2 birds, 1 stone. All right. Now, a gym in New Jersey that defied COVID shutdown orders and celebrated on Fox News for doing so, is now offering free memberships to people who refuse to take the COVID vaccine. Now, this was in response to Krispy Kreme Donuts offering a free donut every day for the rest of the year if you got the vaccine. The health club's business plan is to bring unvaccinated people together and let them spit and sweat on each other just out of spite for the vaccine. And donuts? I mean, look at that owner's beard. How much COVID is in that disgusting mouth mop that hangs from his face? There's going to be a Jersey strain of this virus for sure, and it will be the douchiest version, Jersey Shore COVID strain ever. It'll be drunk, racist, COVID strain that tries to fight everyone and only listens to Bon Jovi. Yeah, not Bruce Springsteen, Bon Jovi. Well, getting back to the Krispy Kreme, we'll give you a free donut because you're a responsible citizen offer. In today's world of Karen cancel culture, and as a result of the everybody gets a trophy generation, anti-vaxxer nutbags complained they were being left out of getting a daily shot of lard and sugar. So now, every Monday, anyone can come in and get a free donut and cup of coffee. Oh. In this day and age, don't you think they could develop a variation of the vaccine that could be administered as a glaze or perhaps in sprinkles? Come on, Fauci, don't let us down now. Well, in other idiot pandemic news, Royal Caribbean Cruises tried to announce 5 summer cruises with a vaccine mandate, which, wait for it, led to calls for boycott from anti-vaxxers who probably work out at the gym in New Jersey and crave the Krispy Kremes. Due to the threat of boycott, Royal Caribbean claims the vaccine mandates were misconstrued. Look, under the best of times, I'm not stepping onto one of your floating petri dishes. I don't care how tall that water slide is. I will not be trapped on a boat with families, with kids, multiple all-you-can-eat shrimp buffets, and limited toilets. But now you throw in possible COVID-19 outbreak with no vaccine mandated unless you're offering free ventilators in every room. I'm probably never going to the ocean again. Right. And that's this week's headlines. All right, now it's time for a little culture here on Amber Live by bringing in, okay, I got to get this straight up. He's a composer, arranger, orchestrator, a feinschmecker, sybarite, turophile, explorer, onophile enthusiast. All right, I don't know what half of those words are, but that's how Ed Windels describes himself. So Ed, come on in. Hi, Ed.
Thanks for having me, Amber. This is a treat.
Okay. All right. So, okay, I just on your website, it says that you're a composer. I got that. Arranger. All right. Orchestrator. Yeah, that's cool. But what's a Feinschmecker?
That's the Yiddish word for someone who really likes food.
Okay. All right. And what's that other one? Cyberite?
That just means I enjoy. That's a good question. I'd have to look that one up. It's been a while since I've used that one, but
Maybe you're no longer one.
person who is self-indulgent in their fondness for sensuous luxury. You know what? I'll take it.
Okay. Oh, yeah. How about a turophile?
Cheese lover.
Oh, okay. Oh, I go with that. Explorer. And I know I should know what onophile
Wine
is.
lover.
Oh, that's it. That's it. It was either that or stamps. I get those confused. So you're just a sort of bon vivant man of all trades there. So
No, I just eat and drink a lot.
cheese. Watch out for that cheese. It'll bind you up. All right. So before we talk about the project you did last summer, what have you been doing all your life? What are some highlights?
Oh, well, my big claim to fame, I suppose, is I've been working as a composer, orchestrator, and arranger ever since I got out of school in 1990. But it's what you might call my side gig. I have a full-time day job. For the last, it's now coming on 3 years, I've been running my own virtual assistant and administration business. So, and my shtick to clients is pretty much if it's legal and it doesn't require me to disrobe, I can do it for you.
Okay. Well, if anyone asks for those other two things, send them my way.
Absolutely. And on Church Street. Okay. So the music thing is not my full financial thing, but it is my passion. It's my vocation. It's my education, and it pays now and then.
Oh, great! So tell us about this project that you did in Detroit last summer. How did that get started, and what happened?
This was an extraordinary experience. There is this young man named Yuval Sharon, who has been an opera director in Los Angeles for some time now. He started his own company out there called, oh, come on, Edward. Geez, I'm not up to the mark tonight, am I? I can't find it. Gosh, that's embarrassing.
That's all right.
Come to
that's
me.
All right.
Which got a huge amount of critical acclaim. Earlier last year, probably around this time, Michigan Opera Theater in Detroit was having talks with him about joining them as full-time artistic director, which is what he wound up doing. And then the pandemic hit. And suddenly they're finalizing these talks, and there are opera houses shut down, and in-person performances around the world are shut down. And Yuval, being the genius that he is, and he's earned his MacArthur Genius Grant. I mean, this was such an extraordinary experience. Yuval said, that's not going to stop us. You've got this parking garage across the street from your house. It's a 6-story helix building, and we're going to do performances there. So long story short, he decided they were going to do the last of Wagner's Ring operas. And for those of the audience who may not be high on Wagner, Wagner wrote this extraordinary cycle of 4 operas called The Ring of the Nibelung. The total running time across 4 days is about 15 hours, depending on the conductor. Goethe Dämmerung, the opera we tackled, can run anywhere from 5 to 6 hours. Yuval took it, shrunk it down to 1 hour, picked out 4 scenes to highlight, hired a local poet named Marcia Music to come up with a vernacular narration that was just off the charts brilliant. And this poor woman had to distill 14 hours of narrative down to about 20 minutes in Detroit vernacular. It was just incredible. So my part in it was they had these 4 musical scenes that they were going to do with live musicians and live singers. The Ring, when it's performed, usually requires, there's our Rhine Maidens. When it's usually performed, it has an orchestra of 110. We had 18 players total, stretched across 4 different levels. So I was hired to condense these scenes, make some cuts in them, and orchestrate them for a total of 18. Yep, there's my upstairs orchestra for 18 instruments total, who will all be playing at the same time, because the audience was cycling through. Pardon the pun, cycling through the performance simultaneously. So one group would be in scene 1, the next group, and you'd go on to scene 2, and the next group would come in. So it was sort of like, and this is not a great analogy, it was sort of like a Disney ride. You were cycling through this thing. And
now, were people in their cars, or were they walking?
They were in their cars. This was militantly controlled for safety and security and health. You were in your cars, your windows were down, you were only allowed 4 people total, you had to have been tested, and the audio was piped in through different radio stations. And it was just genius. And we got some great press. And the show is now going to be done in Chicago by Lyric Opera Chicago at the end of April. And who knows where it will go from there. It was a terrific experience. There's
we've got a film clip of someone talking about.
We've got one of the local newscasts did a quick bit on it, and what's great about it is they came in not as opera fans or connoisseurs, and they were blown away. So,
all right, cool.
Ben, during the COVID pandemic, we're seeing so many things we never thought we'd see before. For example, did you ever think that you would see an opera staged in a parking garage? Paula Dutman took in a performance that shows how a crisis can lead to unexpected creativity and how everyone involved reaps the benefits.
This is my very first ever drive-through opera. Michigan Opera Theater opened its season in a most unconventional way. Unable to safely distance and pack in the usual patrons, it staged the production, Twilight Gods, as a drive-through experience.
And don't go over 5 miles an hour, no burning your tires.
It was an adventure, a first for the city and many patrons.
That's really different. It's like a drive-through opera. Who does that?
Opera is a way of making love in public. It's amazing. It's immersive, it's absolutely all-encompassing, and Wagner is the pinnacle.
She texted me and says, "Do you want me to bring popcorn?" And I'm like, "Yes, that's a wonderful idea."
I noticed you dressed up. I did. It felt appropriate.
And proof positive that creative minds can't be stopped, not even for a pandemic.
I'm so inspired by all of the artists and all of the technicians and the instrumentalists and the designers who realize that this is an opportunity for us to think differently and to really seize that opportunity to not just apologize for the fact that we can't do opera as usual, but to actually say this is a great opportunity to think about opera in a brand new way.
Every seat was a front row seat to the action. Each act was performed on a different level of the Opera House garage. Much like a drive-in movie, we were instructed on how to tune our radios to get the live audio. Despite the damp chill, the innovation was fun, creative, and often the actors would actually approach your vehicle, bringing the audience into the thrill of it all. Even on my favorite operas, I always get at least one nap in, but there's too much going on. As with all operas, there is passion and love, confusion, murder, mayhem, and madness. And even the garage itself became part of the set. It had fun, current, snappy music. It was a spectacle for the eyes. And those who trusted their evening for this grand experiment were not disappointed.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. So are you going to Chicago with the company?
Not right now. Our schedules have not lined up. You never know. I want to give a shout out to the cast, who were just, these are major world class singers, particularly our Brunhilde Christine Gerke, who is in demand around the world and is easily one of the top 3 people in her Fach right now. And she came in and just like she was filing her nails, like it was nothing to her. It was just extraordinary. And they all came in, as I think we all did, a little bit not hesitant, but is this really going to work? And by first dress rehearsal, these folks were full in. It was just spectacular. It's one of the highlights of my. There she is.
I love the cape too.
In Chicago, I urge you to get your tickets because this is going to sell out fast. Detroit sold out in, I think it was 6 hours, and they wound up adding in 2 performances, which sold out in 4.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very good. Advance news up there in Chicago. That'll go great. Well, thank you so much, Ed. It's fascinating. And I will hear more about other projects at another time. But thank you so much. We'll bring you back for the quiz, Ed. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I'll see you in a bit.
Have some wine and cheese. All right. Wow. Wasn't that cool? That would be fun to see. All right. Something else that's fun to see that a lot of people think is the RuPaul Drag Race. And we've got 2 of the best critiques of that show every week here on Amber Live. So it's called Pass the Tea. Let's watch.
Girl, that's hot.
Hey everyone, welcome to Pass the Tea. I'm Sherry Poppins.
And I'm Angela Mansberry, and today we are breaking down episode It Doesn't Matter of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Episode 27 and a half. Woo! Yes.
Woo! We have 6 girls left, and this week the theme was a roast. Now, this has become pretty much a standard for the show, but is always a challenge.
We've done it almost every season in some way or the other, yeah. Since like season 6.
Yeah, and this one was kind of fun because they had to roast 3 miscongenialities from previous seasons. We had Nina West, Heidi in Closet, and Valentina. Which, it was fun. So let's just jump into it. I mean, we have 6 queens left, so let's break down each of them one by one. So Rosé and Candy got to choose the order, and quite a choice. They chose to go first and last.
Yeah, and again, we've seen these roasts, right? We know that those are, like they said last night, the coveted spots to be, but they're also the most difficult spots to be in if you're not fucking funny. You know what I mean? And I think Candy, they both wanted to open at first, right? And Candy stood her ground and she's like, nah, bitch, I'm opening. But I think that being said, Rosé was smart to then close.
Yes. And I thought they both did great jobs. And Candy did such a smart job of going first because then it was if anyone had repeated those jokes in the set, she said it first. So it really worked to her favor, I think.
Right. And we discussed that there were a couple of repeats. There was the rent joke with Valentina. I think there was a Michelle joke that was repeated at some point. So good on Candy for that. And then I think Rosé also slayed it at the end. She was a good wrap up. So I think they kind of sandwiched the roast with debatably the 2 funniest, right?
Yeah.
But let's talk about the middle. Let's talk about the cream of the Oreo, right?
Yes.
So,
a little double.
So, who went second? Who went after Candy? Simone. Yeah, that's rough. Not her strongest week.
No, it was tough. And she kind of just, as soon as she started, it was kind of off to not a great start. It didn't quite land.
You knew you could hear the lack of confidence in her voice, right? She did a lot of ums and oohs and things like that, and then I hate when girls respond to the silence. There would be silence, and then she'd be like, "Ooh, okay, child," and I'm like, "No, ma'am, just keep fucking going." You know what I mean?
Yeah, this was not a great week for Simone. And then right after her, we had Olivia Lux. After this we had Utica.
Which, speaking of bad this week, she made Simone kind of look funny in comparison. And the thing is, I think Utica could have been funny. She just rode that line on the wrong side of the line of like mean and funny. She was just mean.
It was just mean, and none of it landed. None of it. The way that a roast, I think, works is you're mean, but they're in on the joke. This
Right.
kind of felt like they were on the outside of the joke looking in, and so it just wasn't very funny.
Girl, you know it was rough when Lonnie Love was like, girl, you're bombing!
Yeah, you're the one bombing, girl. And we have to talk about the iconic RuPaul moment when Utica says, RuPaul, you're such a fashion icon. Can you stand up from behind the booth? And of course, everyone thinks as they're filming this that RuPaul's no way still in full drag from the waist down, because why would you be? I'm not in drag from the waist down. I don't blame her.
Right. I am bare-legged right now. Yeah, so that was funny. She flipped Utica off probably like 3 times and then did a suggestive, which I imagine was something like this, some sort of suggestive action to her that they had a blur out. So that was a Drag Race story.
Yeah.
And then we had Gottmik, and she was, right? Is that who was next?
Yes, Gottmik was next. And Gottmik did a very good job. Gottmik is very funny without even trying to be.
Yeah.
She's just funny.
She surprised me. She like leaned into it with Snatch Game, but we were thinking, oh, maybe that's just because it's character work. But no, like Mick is genuinely like sharp, and I think it's her deadpan voice that gives that like fun delivery, you know.
Mm-hmm. It's that kind of Beverly Hills, like, oh my god, but it lands and it's funny.
Yeah, it's that Valor Girl funny moment. So she did great, which I was very pleasantly surprised by. And then
we had Olivia.
Olivia.
This was probably the biggest challenge for Olivia because Olivia has this personality of just being so kind and nice and it was very one note for me. I mean, she had a few funny lines in there, but it was very flat for me.
She tried leaning into she tried listening to the critiques, right? They were like, use your sweetness to stab them. I could see that she made the effort, which I nodded and was like, all right, girl, at least you're listening. But it still wasn't a good one for Olivia. But I don't think anyone expected Olivia to be good at the roast.
No, so I guess when we get to our bottom 2 of this week, we had Simone and we had Utica. And we all knew going into this lip sync, Simone ain't going home.
Simone has 4 wins under her belt. If they were to send her home to Utica, who like right now with Olivia is kind of like floating towards the bottom of the pack, like that would have just canceled the show.
Yeah.
That would have broken the internet. So they lip sync. Utica is inevitably sent home, though I will say she put up a decent fight. And that was it.
Yeah,
Simone lives to see another day.
And I guess we do have to say that Utica did issue an apology after her roast.
She did. She issued a public apology.
Which I think might have been necessary. I mean, it just didn't work, and it definitely crossed the line. And she's always so worried about being offensive that I understood why she made that announcement.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a rough one for her, for sure.
Yeah, especially with how toxic the fandom can be. I think it was smart of her to issue an apology. But she's gone. So now there's only 5. We're so close. We have 1 more episode, and then it's the reunion and then the finale. Like, who would have thought this season would be coming to an end? And here we are.
Never.
And here we are.
Well, and of course,
you will catch us every Sunday for the next few Sundays here at Pass the Tea. My name is Sherry Poppins.
And I am Angela Mansberry. Thank you so much for joining us. Back
Cheers,
to you,
girl.
Amber. Cheers.
Girl, that's hot.
Thanks, girls. Oh, that's fun. I don't think there was tea in those coffee cups, if you know what I'm saying. All right, that's just great. So, Russell, come back in here.
Hello again.
So we only have them for a few more weeks. We're going to figure out a way for them to come back and talk about some other stuff. That's because they're fun.
Never know.
That's right. That's right. All right. So coming up on the show, we still have Bitchin' in the Kitchen with Lucy Bell. We have my top 5, and we have watercolor artist Katharine Montstream and Rocco. So we've got plenty of show to go yet. So stay where you are. Yes. So how about that caption? Let's show that picture one more time.
Yes, there's the picture again. If you'd like to send a caption into Jack, he'd love to get it from you. Let us know what you think of that.
Yeah, I don't think Ted Cruz could fit between those slats. Not with that profile.
I wish it would keep him on the other side of the border.
Yeah. All right. Do one more blast for the bustiers, Russell.
Yes. Let's not forget the bustiers. You can support us using Venmo at our JD Pro. You can see that right there. And we do want to always thank all those people because they are important to keeping the show going. And part of what they keep going is our giveaway. We still have a giveaway going with the amber mug on it. This mug's not just for coffee. If you'd like to try to win that mug, you can go to amberlive.tv and click on click to win. And you will hopefully have a chance to win that mug. And speaking of all of our great merch, here's a little word from our sponsor.
Hey, it's Lucy Bell. Have you visited the Amber Live store to get your own amazing Amber Live merch? Just visit amberlive.tv and you can see all the incredible items we have for you. Regular coffee mugs, large coffee mugs, and even magic coffee mugs. T-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, tote bags, and even beach towels. Y'all, they make great gifts for your friends. I've got mine. Just visit the Amber store at amberlive.tv and order yours today.
Well, thank you so much, Lucy Bell. Hey, Russell, do we have any pictures of anybody who sent us any merchandise or who bought merchandise?
Not this week. But if anybody wants to send in pictures of themselves with their Amber Live products, please feel free to send them, and we'll be happy to put them on the air.
Yes, we will. All right. So that was Lucy Bell. So everyone wants more of Lucy Bell. Where's Lucy Bell? We want Lucy Bell. Well, here she is with Bitchin' in the Kitchen.
Bitchin' in the Kitchen with Lucy Bell.
Hey everybody, it's Lucy Bell LeMay here with another episode of Bitchin' in the Kitchen. This is our Easter episode. We're a week before Easter, but I wanted to give you some ideas of what to do with all those peeps. So I guess you could call this a peep show. So we are going to make vodka-infused peeps. Very simple. All you gotta do is just take this vodka, just bury those little peeps with it. Now, I have some ready all right here. Beautiful color, nice and pink. We're going to rim the glass. We're going to do some rimming. Make sure we get plenty of sugar around the rim. There we go, just like so. Let's put this pretty pink. You see the bottles on it? I have been hitting on it. There we go. Beautiful color. And we're going to put a little bit of limoncello. And give us a little peep right here. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that the cutest little Easter drink you ever saw? Ooh, delish. Now, I do have another dish in the oven for us. I call it my peep pie. Very easy to make. I'm going to just wheel this right out of our way for a minute. Here I am. Now the peep pie is very good. It's very simple. All you need is a bag of chocolate chips, the semi-chocolate chips, and I think it was 1/3 cup of cream. But instead of cream, I use good old rum chata. And then you cover the top with peeps. I'll show you. Look at that. See, they got a little brown on top, but that's okay. But what you do, I got a bunch of little graham crackers, and you just use it like a dip. Oh, that's still hot. This may burn me. Mmm. That's good. Easter morning, you should steal all your children's peeps and do this. It's good. Now, for an experiment, let's make a s'more out of these little peeps because, you know, my bitch would be, peeps are so underrated. It's like, come on, peeps are good. You can use them. Hey, we're making vodka. We made a pie that is great to carry to, well, a gathering when we can gather, which ain't going to be long. We're going to turn the oven on. I mean, the stove on. We're going to take this peep. Whoops. Oh, well. Shove this right up his batucas and roast it. Put your piece of chocolate. Ooh, fire. I got my fire extinguisher right here. Ow! That was hot. Look at that. Isn't that great? Hey, I hope all of you have a great Easter. And please, as usual, always remember, wear your mask, wash your hands, watch your distance. And if you can get a vaccine, please get it because it's not going to be long before we're all going to be able to gather. Yes. And I hope by next Easter, we can have an egg hunt and maybe make some s'mores. How about that? Won't that be good? Till next time. Happy Easter.
Oh, Lucy Bell. Oh, she has fun in the kitchen, doesn't she? All right. Well, so spring has sprung. The weather is starting to turn, which makes it time for my top 5 things that I'm looking forward to this spring. Number 5, April showers that bring May flowers, but only rain at night, please. My pasty ass needs some sunshine. Number 4, to be honest, I'm just excited it's finally rose season. But if you're a Golden Girls fan, every season is rose season. Number 3, let the outdoor brunching begin. Oh, you know those gays, they love to brunch, and outside's even more fun. And the number 2 thing I'm looking forward to this spring is, well, as Grandma Edna St. Vincent LeMay used to say, get outside and let the wind blow the stink off of you. However, she was always looking at my sister Marguerite when she said that. And the number 1 thing I'm looking forward to this spring, pastels, obviously. Can't wait. What are you looking forward to spring? Write that in the comments. All right. Now, if you live in the Burlington or Vermont area, chances are if you haven't seen this artist's work, you probably have some hanging in your house. I know I do. So I'd like to introduce Kath Montstream. Kath, come on in. Hi, Kath.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. Good to see you. All right. So, Kath, you are, like I said, everywhere your art is. It's very iconic to look at. So how did you get started painting?
I think it was the only subject I was good at in school growing up. It was like kind of the thing I was usually okay at. So that kind of started me. And then I made a bunch of handmade thank you cards for my wedding and 30 years ago. And people said, oh, you should try to sell these. And that at first I was like, oh, right. But then after a while, I was like, you know what, maybe I will. And so a few stores took them. And after a while, I was just like making greeting cards. And that's how it started.
So what were you doing before then as an occupation? Or...
Oh, little known secret. I sold real estate. I don't tell everybody that. Just that's between me. Sold real estate. And I worked at Lunix as a server for a long time. I loved it with Bob Conlon.
Who wouldn't love working at Lunix, especially with Bob Conlon?
Yeah, and they had this amazing shift that started at 8 at night and went till 2 in the morning. But for someone like me who loves to ski, it was perfect. Go ski all day, come back, have dinner, and then go to work at 8. It was a long day. I love it.
In one of the best restaurants in Burlington, and
Yeah.
right there on Church Street. No, that would be fun to
It
work
was.
at.
Yeah.
So you went from cards, making cards,
Yeah.
into larger paintings.
Right. Someone was looking over my shoulder one day and was like, "Can you make me something like that bigger?" And I thought, yeah, sure. So that sort of started it, and I had a show, and for some reason everybody seemed to like what I was doing, and they took them all away. So I was like, oh, okay, I think I'll make some more paintings. So it was very organic. It wasn't like I ever said I want to be an artist and I want to pursue this. It just sort of kept unfolding in this really natural way, which was great.
So I know I have a couple of your prints. I don't have any originals, but those are watercolors, correct?
The last one was an oil painting, and you can tell
Okay.
it's not so see-through. It's actually the last two were oil paintings.
Okay.
That's okay. That's a watercolor.
That's a watercolor. That's what I'm used to. So which do you prefer to work with?
I always describe it as children. You know, one week you have a favorite, but you never tell. But like one of you, you're getting along really well with one, but the other ones are really like running around and sassing you, and you're frustrated. But I feel like it's the same. Like one week I like oil paintings better, and the next week it's like watercolors. And so I think I go through stages that are just not necessarily predictable. So like
Now you have a storefront on St. Paul Street, but
Right.
you also have a studio as well. That's not your studio. You have a studio elsewhere.
Right. So I have a place where I paint and people can come by, but then I have a showroom, a gallery which is different again, where that's just to show the work, not necessarily for me to work there. So my husband works there, which works out really well, and he ships the greeting cards and does all that. And I can be at the painting studio to actually paint at the soda plant.
So you're doing all the work, and he's back there just.
No, he does all the work. He has to ship all that stuff and talk to people, and he has to field the calls, find out who he's got to pay. So yeah, no, his job is harder than mine.
So what has been your most popular picture or painting? Is there a way to judge that?
I probably would say of the prints, it's probably the poppies with camel's hump in the background. I think over the years, that's been probably our most popular seller. I don't know why. It just, one of my friends one day is like, the theme is Wizard of Oz, make me a Vermont painting. And I was like, what? How am I going to? So I was like, well, Field of Poppies, Camel's Hump. And here it has been like, I don't know, 15 years. We keep reprinting this one print and it just keeps selling. So I probably is my most favorite and most popular.
All right. So you paint, but you also have some extracurricular activities you like to partake in. So talk about those, would you please?
Sure. I started a group last year called the Red Hot Chili Dippers on Instagram because I wanted to go in the lake in the winter, and I had been doing it for 3 years. But during the pandemic, I feel like people were really looking for something to do outside and just sort of shock yourself because the news was yeah, exactly. The news was so scary, and we were all in like such a state of wondering what's going to happen next. So I started going every day, and people kept coming up to me or texting me going, "Hey, when are you going next? I want to go." And I'm like, okay. So I was trying to think of a name, and I was like, oh, the Seal Club, the Ladies of the Lake. I had all these dumb names. And then my daughter was like, Mom, Red Hot Chili Dippers. And I was like, well, yeah. And so then for there, I just started offering it to people and collecting email and just saying, if you want to try this, I will, give you some help and also let you know if I think it's a good fit for you and have you talk to your doctor or whatever. And sort of help people in. And it's been really successful. People love it.
And I think we have a film clip about it. So
yeah,
yeah.
That looks about right.
Oh my God. And how cold's the water, or what's the water temperature?
That would have been 34 degrees probably, or 0.1 Celsius. It is really cold, but you do get used to it. Like your brain anticipates what it feels like. Your body doesn't get used to it, but your brain, it doesn't make you scream anymore. Maybe you might a little bit, but shock, you get past the shocking part and you anticipate it and you just sort of like, okay, I can do this. I think
you also run?
Yeah.
You're a runner?
Yeah, I do.
The marathon?
No, that's too far.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw you at the
I've
marathon.
always seen you. Yes, I always do a piece of it. I always love seeing you at the marathon. You're always. So you're right. I do a little tiny piece of it.
Oh, well, good. It's always good to see you.
Yeah.
All right, now, do you have any future projects that you want to accomplish, or is this something that you looking forward to?
I'm hoping. I think when you're a visual artist, you try to wait till something sort of hits you over the head and inspires you. And so right now, certainly the cold water and the ice and snow has been just so beautiful and magnificent to me. So I'm trying to sort of put a show together for October. And then it'll just be about, if I can get those paintings done. Right now I'm trying to make them and it's not working. Ice is hard to paint. It's like, it's just hard. So I've got some work to do, and but I have a few months. And I think once the ice is gone, which we're really close, I think then I will buckle down and really stay in my studio and paint more. But right now I'm just like, oh, back to the lake, back to the lake. Oh,
well, you're crazy. All right, I'm going to say it, you're crazy.
It makes you love winter, though. It's just like it empowers you, and it sort of feels like. It's very defiant. It's like, oh, you don't think I can go in? Well, give me my sledgehammer and you watch. Here we go. It's like it's empowering. So,
all right, that is so cool. That is so cool.
Thank you.
Right, well, thank you so much for being a part of Amber Live tonight. And so now let's bring Ed back in. We've got our quiz of the week. Hey, Ed.
Hi, gang.
What's the cheese of the night, Ed?
I'm foregoing cheese for a little blended whiskey.
Oh, okay. I think yesterday was National Whiskey Day or something like that. Do we need a day?
I'm catching up.
Okay. All right. All right.
Matt says you have to go swimming with me.
Kath, you'd love it out here. I live right near Brighton Beach in Brooklyn, and the water tends to be pretty chilly. And somewhere I have a picture of on Christmas Day of some of the locals going for a little dip. And it probably wasn't as cold as up where you are, but it was not warm. So I'm just saying.
Oh, thank you. I would be there.
Well, Kat, Matt should know that if I come within 10 feet of the lake, I put on 3 life jackets. All right. So the quiz this week is all about that barge that's over there in the Suez Canal that's mucking things up. So the Suez Canal, you've heard of that. So what year was the Suez Canal opened? Was it 1 in 1869, 2, 1907, or 3, 1923? When did they first start going through the Suez Canal? What do you say, Ed? What do you think?
1907.
07? Kath, what's your thought?
1923?
No, it was 1869.
Oh.
Yes. And they first started doing it with like buckets and shovels, manual labor. But thank God the Industrial Revolution came along and they could get some machines in there to help dig. Yeah. And it took like 8 years to get completed. All right. So how much in trade passes through the canal each day? Well, not today, but normally.
When you say trade, what are we talking about, Amber?
Produce. You New York boys.
I don't know. Someone said something about me being a bartender somewhere, so I figured I better capitalize on it.
Well, no, what that is the bartenders in Burlington are very, very, let's say, underemployed. They are very smart. They are well-rounded, but Burlington's a great job or great town to be a bartender in if you're as well-rounded as you are. So how much in trade
rounder by the minute?
Through the canal each day? Is it $100 million worth, $10 billion worth, or $1 trillion Bitcoin worth? Bitcoins worth. What do you say?
I'm going to go with number 1.
I'm going to go with number 2.
It is $10 billion. So can you imagine what's being blocked up over there? Yeah,
lots of IKEA furniture.
Yeah. And cheap China shit. So, all right. Now, in which country was the Ever Given built? That's the name of the ship. The Ever Given built. Was it the USA? Was it Japan? Or was it Germany? It's a huge ship. It's like 10 or 7 football fields long, and as tall or as like I think it was like the length of the Eiffel Tower or maybe the Empire State Building. So where was it built? Was it USA, Japan, or Germany?
I'm going to go with Ed.
I'm going to go with Japan.
It is Japan. Yes, it was made in Japan. And it says Evergreen. Evergreen is the name of the country, but Ever Given is the name of the boat. And I want to thank Stephen Meese for correcting me on that yesterday on Facebook. Yes. And now, which country? It was built in Japan, but which country is the home of the Evergreen Company? China, Brazil, or Taiwan?
China.
So it was built in Japan, but who owns it?
Taiwan.
Taiwan. It is, though the company is based in Taiwan. Now,
Right.
it's really weird. The company is owned by Japan. It's based in Taiwan, but it flies under the Panamanian flag. I don't know. It's a good thing I'm not in charge of any of that stuff. And the final question is, what caused the Ever Given to drift off course, causing this problem? Was it wind? Was it Captain Error? Or was it the recent drought? Which one caused it to go ashore like that? What do you say? Kath, what do you say?
Serious topics.
I know.
We try to be educational.
Not in my wheelhouse at all, Amber. I'm really sorry. But I'm going to go with Captain Error.
I'm going to agree.
No, it was the wind. Gosh, can you imagine the wind blowing that off? But I guess it must have been pretty bad. Well, now we know a little bit more about the Suez Canal and the Evergreen, Ever Given barge. All right. So thank you so much, Ed and Kath, for joining me tonight. Fascinating show. Very interesting. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been an honor.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see you soon. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi, Amber. Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right. That was fun. All right. Woo-hoo-doo. Okay. All right. That's not how you spell drought. Oh, thank you, Craig. That was draft. I wasn't, because when I typed it, I said, well, that looks like the word draft. Oh, well, never. Thanks, Craig. All right. So what do we have now? How could I forget? We have a visit from Rocco. Hey, Rocco. Is Rocco live? No. I guess we have a film clip from Rocco. Oh, there's Rocco.
How you doing?
All right. What are you doing, Rocco? Rocco, are there any naked kids in your kitchen right now?
No. Let me tell you, it's really hard. As you know, I've been taking care of my niece and nephew, because I got to, sort of like a Bernie Mac sort of thing. And it's really hard to be a single uncle. I just got that little one to sleep, the one who was pantsless last time, although she was wearing pants. She gave me a hard time.
Well, you were the one who said she was naked.
Yeah, what are you going to do? I like to say things.
Okay.
Look, I'm spinning.
Nice haircut.
You like it? I got them all cut. Thank you. Oh. So, yeah, it's getting crazy. I got one kid in bed. The other one's not in bed. Just took out all the DVDs and threw them all over the place and said, look, I cleaned. I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm telling you, it's hard being a single uncle.
Yes. All right. So I hear you have a little project for us tonight.
Well, yeah, this whole thing about opera and garages and parking, it inspired me. So I figured I'd make my own opera. Because, that's what I like to do. I like to sing opera, sort of. I don't know. I sang. Roll the damn clip.
I'm parking in a parking lot. I can't seem to find a good parking spot. Wait, there's a spot way over there. Oh, it's handicapped. I need a wheelchair. I'm running late for work. This sucks, you know it does, but I gotta do what I gotta do. and finding a spot is rare, and it's raining, so I will park way over there and walk in the rain forever. I need a spot. This really sucks. I'll park here. I don't care if I get towed. I have a spot and I'm parking. I don't care. Here I am. Now I'm gonna work. So this has been a parking garage fiasco opera. Damn right.
Rocco, my goodness.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it on the road. I'm gonna hit every parking garage in town.
Oh, I can see that. Boy, that along with your book of poetry, you know, you're a man of letters.
Yeah, I like letters. There's a whole alphabet that's dedicated to them.
Someone wants to know if someone gets stabbed and dies in your opera.
You know, my days usually end that way. That's all I'm going to say. It's not an uncommon thing.
Oh,
but hey.
All right.
So, yeah. This has been crazy. Again.
Again. All right. Well, we've got lots of great comments about your opera. And, someone suggests you could sing the national anthem at the next CPAC convention. If you didn't see that tape, go back and watch that.
That would be pretty funny.
But I think you have to add a few more keys in there as well. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about, Rocco?
I don't know. Today's Palm Sunday, right? Here's my palm.
Yes.
Yes, we got a million of them. They all fucked up.
All right. All right, Rocco. Will you go back to being the great uncle that you are?
Oh, yeah. Whatever. We'll see. Anyway, I'll see you guys later, all right?
See you next week. If not, what? See you next week. Yes.
See you next Easter.
All right. Yeah. Oh, and Rocco usually joins us on our Wednesday Amber chat. So that's another reason to stop in. And you know who else does? Jack. Jack stops in. Hey, Jack.
Hey there.
Yes, Jack stops in and talks on Wednesday nights, and you get to know him a little bit better. And the comments just blow up. Oh, Jack, they love Jack.
I get to steal the show on Wednesdays. I get to come in the middle while people are still watching, rather than at the end when everyone's already fucked off and gotten drunk by now.
Yes, between you and Big J and Rocco, we have quite the assortment of guests. And Larry.
Speaking of Rocco, did you know that I have a new landlord? Guess who it is?
Oh, that's right. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago, that he was going to be your new landlord.
Landlord.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and you live in the same building as Russell.
That's right. I live in the sub-basement, which is underneath the basement, and the real basement really acts as a porn dungeon. But, you know, New York, there's something for everyone. But anyway, I have a welcome to the neighborhood letter from Rocco Zamboni.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I'd like to read it to you.
Please share.
All right, here it is. Dear Jack, hey, how you doing? It's me, Rocco. I was gonna write you a letter saying congratulations on the new apartment and shit, but I got distracted and started thinking about butts. And then he typed a butt. So instead, I've comprised a letter of Rocco's Pearls of Wisdom. And just like a piece of religious text, it's fragmented, and I'll leave it up to you to interpret what I meant. Dear Jack, I was gonna write you a poem welcoming you to your new home, but I didn't. P.S. If you have any problems, just leave me out of it. Call Russell. Dear Jack, Home is where the heart is, and the last guy who lived here was a back alley surgeon, so let me know if you see a heart or any other organs lying around. P.S. Always keep a bottle of bleach on hand. P.P.S. The piano is haunted. Dear Jack, I should elaborate on the piano. The heart of a successful pianist was blended into the finish by a man who thought it would make him a great player. It brought him only hardship, insanity, and ultimately killed him. Enjoy. And then Rocco drew another butt. And then he signed his name, but he used the brush script font, the typeface, because he can't sign it. And he says, P.S. I have to use the computer to sign my name because I can't make a cursive Z. No one can. So thank you, Rocco, for welcoming me to the neighborhood and for the haunted piano.
Oh, what a great guy. What a great, don't be late with Brent. Don't be late with Brent. That's all I got to say.
Oh.
All right. Hey, how about the comments? What comments did we see?
Right. We had some good ones for that picture of, you know, the most hated senator in the Senate. And here some of them are. Big J says, let's get to work, people. And Charlotte says, I knew it. Cruz isn't human. He bulges in the wrong place. And this is the wall I scaled to escape to Cancun for my vacation. We have a couple more. Larry said, push Ted Cruz into Mexico and then start to build the wall.
Yeah.
And we got one from Johnny, who said, you can only cross in if you are this tall. And piggybacking on that, Randy says you have to be this tall to fly to Cancun. And my favorite one of the evening is from Craig, who says, Cruz celebrates Passover by parting the desert.
I'll have you explain that to me at the after show. I did. Someone mentioned that it's the second day of Passover. So
it is, yes. When the Jews were exiled from Egypt and the pharaohs, Moses parted the Red Sea to escape, because by that point the Egyptians had snuck up and were like, you know what, come back, be slaves. And Moses was like, I'm going to part the sea. And it literally happened like that. Literally.
Oh my gosh. Oh
it
my
happened.
gosh.
It's in a book of scrolls.
Oh. I think I saw that on Fox News. I think so.
Yeah, it makes sense.
All right. Hey, Jack, you're going to sing a song next week. Is that true?
Is it? I mean, I just moved, and the piano is haunted.
But I think you'll sing a song.
We'll see.
All right.
I'm making no promises.
All right. Hey, Russell.
Hello, Amber and Jack.
Oh, my gosh. What a fun
Howdy doodly, neighbor.
Howdy doodly. If I bang on the floor, you'll hear me.
Which one of you is Kramer? That's what I want to know.
Well, so far I've stopped by Jack's apartment more.
So that makes you the Kramer. It's Kramer versus Kramer up in here.
Okay. All right. So, Russell, next week we've got our Sap Tappin' Mud Flappin' review with our guests from Beaver Pond. What are some of the guests we have coming up in a couple of weeks? Do you have any of those?
Oh, my goodness.
We can talk about?
Lots of great guests. We have an drag queen and member of the Royal Court of Edmonton coming up. Eventually, we have a woman who imposter syndrome is her specialty, and she has a podcast about that who's going to come in and talk. And we also coming up we have Sherry Vine lined up, and even with Sherry Vine on that episode, we have a porn star from Next Door Studios who's going to come on and tell us about his career. So it'll be an interesting one. That's not until May, but we are working on all kinds of things every week. So
all right, we get a lot of our guests from audience members suggesting people. So if you're watching and you know some interesting people who would have fun being on Amber Live, drop us a line. Let us know.
Yes. So we'd love to hear from you.
All right, guys. I'll see you next week.
Yes. Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye.
Yes. All right. Oh, what a fun show. I want to thank Ed and Kath and the girls from Pass the Tea, Lucy Bell, Rocco, and, of course, Jack and Russell. So, and thank you for watching again on our night of Amber Live. We'll be back here next Sunday. Hope you all be too. Have a great week. All right. Bye-bye.
So, how much do we get paid each week to do this?
Paid? I thought we were doing this for free.
What? You watch this every week for free?
I'm trying to make up for some bad karma in a past life.
Ha! What did you do to deserve this? Murder someone?